that it might be difficult for you to put a sizable investment into precious metals, my suggestion is pick up a couple of rolls of junk silver. One roll is not much more than $100. I mean, you can pull that out of one of your paychecks each month, or maybe just buy a 1/10 American Eagle gold coin. You can probably do that for about $100 as well, as you feel more confident and more comfortable realizing that you are becoming your own bank, protecting your assets no matter what happens with a little $50 digital fireproof safe in the crawl space of your house. Imagine how you're going to feel when all these other folks watch their paper assets go up in smoke. If Citigroup, Bank of America, Wachovia, these big names, if they can't manage their own finances, how are they going to protect yours? Gold and silver. Get your hands on it. Don't worry about confiscation.
I agree with everything. I think the bottom line here is that after almost 50 years in business and in the stock market, et cetera, and 20 now as a writer, I don't know any place else to go. And number two, if you remember, during the 1930s, the value of everything except gold went down 60 to 90%, and gold held its value, and then its value was increased officially. Today, the market would do such a thing. There's a possibility that there could be an American devaluation, and will they go back on a gold standard? Maybe. And so all of these things are playing into this, and you really just want to be there. It is safety personified. It is the only real currency in the world in history.
If you take $20,000, $30,000 or so and you tie it up in a nice roll of gold coins or a couple of big bars of silver and tuck it away, you'll know if 10, 20% of your assets are in gold and silver, a small amount of your total wealth. Last year, we lost almost 40 to 45% in the major stock markets. Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, around 40%. Everyone's expecting a big rally this year. Jim Cramer, so many other folks. Hey, we've had a down year. It's time for an up year. What if by chance we just experienced another 40% down year? I'm not, once again, projecting this, but if that occurs, suddenly everyone that owns stocks has lost 80% of the value. And it doesn't have to drop 40%, maybe 30%. Okay, it's still not the place that you want to put your hard-earned money. But if you crystallize your wealth in the form of precious metals, it's not going anywhere. So not only have you saved your money from going up in smoke or in flames, but you have incredible upward potential because we are in a wild bull market.
I don't know if you noticed that Louise Yamada came out with a projection for the Dow for 6,000. Matches mine for this year. So I thought I'd mention it, but I think we're headed lower than that.
Dow 6,000, well, that pretty much coincides with Jim Cramer's original forecast of 6,000 to 6,500. From our peak of around 14,000, Dow 5 or 6,000, I mean, you're beginning to approach that 2/3 decline in value. And you know who that's really going to hurt? Retirees. It's really going to kill this baby boomer generation who just a year ago or so, they were flying high on what? Their home values? What about their stock 401ks going through the roof since 2003? Well, if you suddenly can't rely on any of those funds anymore, well, that's, I think, pretty much what Dow 6,000 or lower means.
That's why the people who email me and I answer, particularly older people, I tell them just get out of the market and get into gold and silver-related assets, and if you must, keep part of your money in a cash form, buy Swiss franc government bonds. I'm just trying to keep them out of harm's way.
As I mentioned earlier, with the tendency for people to hope that their losses will turn back into gains or even just get back to the break-even level. I mean, this is really one of the gambler's fallacies, isn't it? And it's so common, you can see it. Poker players refer to as being on tilt. Well, we don't want you to go all in at this investing table of Texas No Limits Hold'em. What we want you to do is cut your losses and look for a way out. The way to get out of a financial mess is not to continue doing what got you there in the first place. You've got to find the next bull market. I think we've already done a great job outlining that bull market is gold, and in the shorter term, probably treasury bills. Please tell folks how they can find out more about the International Forecaster.
Well, the forecast about business, finance, economics, and social and political issues all over the world. We publish by email on Wednesdays and Saturdays, runs around 35 pages each time, and we have a hard copy for those who are not on the Internet, which goes out twice a month. If you'd like to visit our site, that address is theinternationalforecaster.com. The International, Forecaster.com. And you can get a free introductory copy there and at these other two locations I'm going to give you. The email address is international_forecaster@yahoo.com. international_forecaster@yahoo.com. Or you can call toll-free 800-375-4188. 800-375-4188.
All right, well, we're going to have to wrap up now. Bob, as always, I look forward to hearing your thoughts again next week.
Well, I will be here, and I'm always happy to be here, and we always have a very interesting show.
I think you're right, even if we're the only ones listening.
All right, bye-bye.